Oliver gripped the branch so tightly that his tiny claws began to peel the bark. Above him, the sky over Central Park turned a heavy, bruised gray. While his brothers soared into the wind, Oliver stayed frozen, his eyes locked onto the swirling clouds. He wasn't just watching the sky. He was waiting for a disaster that hadn't even happened yet. Deep down, he knew the rain would come, and if it did, his wings would fail him. Below the branch, on a weathered wooden bench, sat an old man. He spent every afternoon in the park, quietly sharing breadcrumbs and watching the world go by. He noticed Oliver's trembling feathers and the way the little bird looked at the clouds with such terror. The old man tilted his head and whispered softly, "The sky is vast today, little one. Why are you still here?" Oliver looked down, his voice small and filled with worry. "Sir, don't you see those clouds? If I fly now, the rain will surely start. My wings will get heavy and wet. I will lose my balance and fall straight to the ground. It is safer to stay right here." The old man didn't laugh. He didn't tell Oliver he was being silly. Instead, he leaned back and looked up at the gray horizon, his eyes calm and full of peace. He remained silent for a long moment, letting the sound of the distant wind fill the space between them. Finally, he turned back to the bird. "I understand," he said gently. "It is natural to fear the fall. But tell me, Oliver, you've spent all morning imagining the rain. You've fought 100 storms in your mind already. But look at your feathers. Are they wet? Is the ground rushing up to meet you?" Oliver blinked, looking at his dry wings. "You are exhausted from a rain that hasn't fallen," the old man continued. "We often build cages out of maybe and what if. But let me ask you one thing. What if it doesn't rain at all?" The old man stood up slowly and walked toward a small patch of flowers near the bench. He didn't ask Oliver to be brave. He didn't tell him to ignore the clouds. Instead, he pointed to a cluster of bright blue hydrangeas and said something very strange. "Oliver, I want you to do something for me. I want you to thank that big gray cloud up there." Oliver stared at the man, completely confused. "Thank it? But sir, that cloud is the reason I'm trapped on this branch. It's my enemy." The old man smiled and shook his head gently. "Look at these flowers, Oliver. They are beautiful, aren't they? But they were once seeds hidden in the dark, dry earth. If it never rained, if the sky was always clear and the sun always bright, these flowers would wither and turn to dust. They don't hide from the rain. They wait for it. They know that what looks like a storm is actually the very thing that helps them grow." He looked back at the little bird. "Your fear is like a cage, but it's a cage without a door. You've locked yourself inside by seeing the rain as a monster. But rain is just water, and water is life." Oliver looked at the flowers, then back at the heavy sky. For the first time, the clouds didn't look like a ceiling coming down. They looked like a gift waiting to be opened. "Instead of being afraid of getting wet," the man whispered, "try being grateful for the strength the wind gives you. Without the resistance of the air, you could never soar. The storm isn't there to stop you, Oliver. It's there to remind you that you were built to handle the weather." Suddenly, the air felt different. The tension in Oliver's claws began to soften as he realized that the very thing he was running from was the only thing that could truly set him free. He realized that a bird sitting on a branch is safe, but that is not what birds are for. Just then, a sudden sharp gust of wind swept through the park. It was fast and unyielding. The branch swayed violently, and before Oliver could tighten his grip, the wind forced him off his feet. For a split second, he felt the cold terror of falling. His heart raced, and he closed his eyes, waiting for the crash. But then, something happened. Instead of hitting the ground, he felt the air catch beneath his wings. It was a strange, powerful lifting sensation. Instinctively, he snapped his wings open. He flapped once, then twice. Suddenly, he wasn't falling anymore. He was rising. The very wind he had feared was now carrying him higher than he had ever gone. And then, the first drop of rain fell. It touched his beak, cool and light. Then another drop hit his wing. Oliver braced himself, expecting to become heavy and sink. But the rain didn't pull him down. It washed away the dust from his feathers. It felt refreshing, like a cold drink on a summer day. He looked down and saw the park from a new perspective. The trees looked greener, the flowers were opening their petals, and the world below seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. Oliver began to fly with a rhythm he never knew he had. He dove through the mist and soared above the lake, realizing that the storm wasn't his enemy. It was his playground. The clouds weren't a ceiling. They were the backdrop to his freedom. He slowed down, gliding effortlessly through the light drizzle. A deep sense of peace washed over him. He realized that the monster he had built in his mind was nothing more than a shadow. The reality of the rain was soft, manageable, and even beautiful. All that time spent shivering on the branch seemed like a distant memory. He wasn't a bird afraid of the rain anymore. He was a bird who finally understood why he had wings. The old man watched from his bench, a small, knowing smile spreading across his face as Oliver disappeared into the mist. He knew that the little bird had finally discovered a truth many humans spend a lifetime trying to understand. From today's story, we learn that fear is often just a shadow cast by our own imagination. We spend so much energy worrying about the storms of tomorrow that we forget to enjoy the wings we have today. Don't let the clouds of the future steal the sunshine of your present. The rain isn't there to drown you, it's there to help you grow. If this story touched your heart, feel free to share it with someone who might be sitting on a branch of their own today. Stay calm, keep breathing, and remember, you were built for the weather. I look forward to sharing another life lesson with you in the next video. Peace be with you.